Hello, welcome back to the Squawka YouTube channel. I'm Statman Dave, and today we're going to be talking about how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to line up Manchester United this season. Very exciting stuff. Of course, subscribe to the Squawka YouTube channel and like the video before we are going to dive in, which we're going to do right now. So, Manchester United finished last season playing what you probably make out as a 4-4-2 diamond. A narrow midfield four with Juan Mata positioned at the tip, Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial using their pace to run the channels in behind the defence, Juan Mata feeding them, and a lot of attacking from fullback. That, of course, has been slightly tweaked in pre-season, gearing up to this new year in the Premier League as United search for the Champions League and, of course, as high up the league as they can go. The big thing in terms of formation, it has drastically changed with signings coming in. First up, we've got to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Coming from Crystal Palace, a tackle merchant, a guy defensively that's absolutely sound. As a defender in the Premier League, his stats were ridiculous, and versus fullbacks, he made the most tackles, won the most tackles, made the most interceptions, clearances, and completed more dribbles than any other fullback in the Premier League last season, and is going to simply fit easily into Manchester United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Expecting that if United do play the diamond, Wan-Bissaka will provide the attacking width in the final third, along with his pal Luke Shaw. Expect them to rotate, one will hold, one will sit if United play the diamond, but United have moved away from the diamond in pre-season, as we mentioned before, because of the signing of one guy, really. Dan James coming into the 11. Dan James, signed from Swansea, has been really, really good for United and adds a real intensity. He's been playing on the left-hand side, but also on the right-hand side for Manchester United. And I think he's better on the left than the right in terms of his style. He's quite a defensive player. He says he's a defensive winger, can work back, but also can provide pressure on the opposition. That's where he's done really well, nicking the ball for Manchester United and then playing the simple pass. When he gets into the penalty area, into the final third, he's quite direct, cuts inside onto his stronger right foot and looks to take people on. Of course, Manchester United, we've seen a number of different players play number 9 for them. We've seen the likes of Anthony Martial play there, but we've also seen Marcus Rashford through the middle, Dan James to the right-hand side, Anthony Martial to the left-hand side. It's looked really good, but I could see them right now in this system potentially. James on that left wing, and the main man, Mason Greenwood, 17 years old, scored against Leeds, scored against Inter Milan in pre-season. He is an absolute joke of a finisher, fantastic off both feet. So Man United could set up as follows with the current players that they've got at the squad. You're talking the likes of Juan Mata playing number 10, Paul Pogba joining him in an attacking sense as United get into the final third to create this W shape. The fullbacks to play more inverted than overlapping. Luke Shaw coming into the middle, same as Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's the kind of setup we've seen in pre-season. The big thing though, Scott McTominay at defensive midfield has absolutely showed great maturity. Not only has he played this defensive midfield role, he's also played as a number 8, playing Paul Pogba's position. Of course, in the Premier League, won 90% of his tackles, the best rate of any midfielder to play over 600 minutes. But of course, we're talking about number 10, attacking midfield. It's a really interesting position for Manchester United. Of course, there's been a number of players that have played that position for Ole so far in pre-season, with the likes of Andreas Pereira. We've seen Mata do there really well. We've seen Lingard. We've seen, of course, Paul Pogba play a little bit there. And Angel Gomez, who is fantastic at football. He could probably blossom into one of the best players in the Premier League. He's been directly involved in 0.7 goals per game, deployed as an attacking midfielder across all age groups and competitions. But that number 10 spot is going to be interesting. And who we might see in there, of course, is the main man, Paulo Dybala. Dybala is a fantastic forward, capable of playing in a number of attacking positions as a striker on the left wing, on the right wing, but where he is at his best is in that number 10 area as a second striker. You're thinking with Marcus Rashford, who does love running into the channels, could open up space for Dybala to become the nominal forward, something that he's done really well in his career so far. But you'd expect the shape, as we mentioned before, to transition into that sort of attacking shape. The 5 attackers in the final third, thinking Marcus Rashford as a centre forward, James wide left, Greenwood wide right, and then Dybala will be joined with his pal, Paul Pogba. The pair have obviously played together for Juventus in the 2015-16 season. Together, they were an absolute destructive partnership. Juve's system actually looked quite similar to this. Instead of Dan James and Greenwood out wide as wingers, they had wing-backs that played those positions. And of course, Dybala got the best out of Pogba, and Pogba got the best out of Dybala. In terms of stats, Dybala that season had the most shots per game in the penalty area, but he also produced the most. Shots plus chances created, 5.2, and he had his most dribbles per game. He scored 19 goals in the league that season and was an all-round menace. And reuniting him with his pal, Paul Pogba, could get the best out of both players. The link-up, the ability to create, to score, to move together, they're almost in sync, which is really interesting for Manchester United moving forward in this new shape. Another guy that can massively improve Manchester United is Harry Maguire at the back. You probably expect him to be the left-sided centre-back, and Victor Lindelof, in fact, to move to right centre-back. Victor Lindelof there, can play left centre-back, but also can play right centre-back. Of course, right-footed, very good at going out and shuttling. The big thing, though, with Harry Maguire is he needs protection in behind, with the likes of, you've got to be aware that he may be a little bit slower than the rest of the defence. So Luke Shaw and, of course, Victor Lindelof and even Aaron Wan-Bissaka need to be aware that if Maguire goes out, steps out and win the aerial duel, that United react and switch to a 3-1 shape with Maguire ahead of him to win that first ball, and the quicker, faster cover defenders in behind him. But what Maguire brings to Manchester United is that ability to play out from the back, to hit the likes of Dybala, to hit the likes of Scott McTominay in midfield, Paul Pogba, switch the play. The interesting side of him, his play when he was at Leicester City, is he likes to find the left wing back. Ben Chilwell hits him in the final third. For Manchester United, considering how they've changed and adapted their system, expect Harry Maguire to be hitting the left winger, be it James, be it someone like Anthony Martial against a weaker team when you need a less defensive player out there, or maybe even Chong. Teeth Chong is a fantastic player, a classic winger, plays inverted on the right, plays as a natural winger on the left-hand side, and we could see some really good output from him. Maguire switching the ball out wide to that position. Of course, there's a lot of youngsters at Manchester United right now that look really, really good. The likes of Jimmy Garner could come into defensive midfield. That would be really nice. We mentioned before, the likes of Tuanzebe could either play either centre-back role next to Maguire, next to Victor Lindelof. And of course, the main man, Angel Gomez, could be playing number 10. Or even Andreas Pereira could come in. He's looked good in a defensive sense in that role. Aggressive, physical, looks to sort of push the play on. And that's kind of how Manchester United could line up in the new season. We'll put Dybala back in, put Dan James back in, creating this 4-1-4-1 shape in an attacking sense, but of course transitioning back to a more defensively minded 4-2-3-1 shape and look to press. That's the big thing for Manchester United. They're going to be a lot more aggressive in that sort of defensive sense. Dybala is a good defender. He's not the most intense defender you're going to see. He's not going to fly out of the back and put pressure on the ball, but will make the right choice in terms of his body orientation and closing down the play, which will collectively help out Manchester United on the defensive side of their game. And then when they can break with pace, they've got the forwards that can fly forward, and of course Pogba can play that box-to-box role and create that sort of 5-man attack on the counter-attack. Very exciting times for Manchester United, but a really interesting window. Rate it in the comments below. Out of 5, how good has United's transfer window been? But what's been more impressive, though, has been the ability of the team to have a tactical identity, an attacking identity, which has been fascinating to watch in pre-season. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this on the Squawka YouTube channel.